Welcome back to Pancake FC, the YouTube channel named after the fantasy team named after my dog. Today we are putting together our Week 19 player tier list. It is, again, early in the morning as I'm recording. I do apologize, but that's just my schedule for the next couple of weeks. I got to record really early, so if I seem a little bit sleepy, it's because I am. But don't worry, I got coffee. But also do worry because you're definitely going to hear some coffee slurping sound effects throughout the video. Awesome. Lost my train of thought already. This is the YouTube channel named after the fantasy team named after my dog. If you do enjoy the video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. For every person who does so, Pancake does get an extra treat, and that is true. Hopefully, very soon, whenever I can find the time to finish it, I'll have out a video about Nick Cushing and a treat cam attached to it. But for now, let's go ahead and get into the tier list. We're going to start with goalkeepers and work our way up from there. Our tiers today are chalk, as in, template players. Best option is the ones that everyone's probably going to have. Good option, bench, fun punt, and fade, players that I don't think you should pick. And let's glance through the schedule real quick as well. So, New York City, I see Pancake. The Pancake cam is blank. I apologize. We're in a different house right now, and Pancake's a little bit more restless with her bed. So, she's next to me now. Let's see. So we do have another Friday game. New York City FC once again on the Friday game in Yankee Stadium. We've got Atlanta hosting Toronto. Atlanta will very likely be without Thiago Almada, as he is being sold, it seems, to like Lyon or Crystal Palace or something. Montreal hosting Philadelphia. New England hosting the Columbus Crew. New York Red Bulls versus a Christian Benteke-less DC United. FC Dallas versus FC Cincinnati. Houston Dynamo versus Charlotte FC. Nashville are hosting Inter Miami. Even though Inter Miami are missing some of their superstars, they are still getting some good results. Sporting Kansas City are hosting Austin FC. Vancouver and St. Louis. Austin FC got a big road win last week, by the way. Los Angeles hosting a pretty informed Colorado Rapids, although LA are also not doing too shabby themselves. Portland and Minnesota. San Jose for the Cali Classico are hosting LA Galaxy, and then Seattle Sounders are playing the Chicago Fire. So those are results for the week. We've got actually a pretty nice spread of game times, so we can actually do some nice switcheroos with all our players. Let's get into it. So Tim Melia, that's Sporting KC, versus Austin FC. Austin are still a very poor team on the road, despite the good result against Minnesota. I do think Tim Melia is a pretty fun punt. Maybe even a good option. The problem is SKC's defense in general is really unreliable, but at home also very unreliable. I'll tell you what, for Los Angeles and the Colorado Rapids, I actually think Colorado, I bet a lot of people go with LAFC players this week, but I think Colorado get one. So I'm going to say I'm not interested in Hugo Lloris at all. Brooks Lennon, probably maybe a bench play or a fun punt. Atlanta are, losing players left and right. GG, now Almada. They're still without they're going to be without a coach for a minute, a permanent one, and they just don't look good. They're not good at home, but the upside of Brooks Lennon, I think, still exists somewhere in there. I don't necessarily think he's a fun punt because he's not the most fun player to pick right now. But I think as a bench play, there's merit to it. Kai Wagner is just chalked. One of the best defender in the game right now. Let me double back around for a couple keepers I missed. Let me get rid of my mouse pad because it's working very poorly right now. Stephen Fry, I think is a very good option this week. So these 9:30 games are chock full of good defensive options. Seattle hosting Chicago. Seattle's defense is pretty solid at home. I do like Stephen Fry for sure. I also like Matt Freese as well. Hosting, actually, you know what though? That game is at Yankee. Not a lot of clean sheets at Yankee Stadium. Maybe he's more of a fun punt. Actually, Orlando made some midfield adjustments this last week that I actually think really helped their team. So, you know what? I'm going to say don't go Freeze. I bet a lot of people do, and just not a lot of clean sheets in Yankee Stadium. Don't care for it. Jackson Reagan, I definitely like this week. Cucho Hernandez. I'm jumping ahead to forwards. Let's keep going with our defenders. Julian Gressel. Don't fall into the Gressel trap. The trap is once again open and ready to clamp down on your ankle. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just because he's scoring goals and assists doesn't mean that's going to continue. He has not been putting up bonus points. If he doesn't get a goal or an assist or a clean sheet, he's going to drop like a 1. Don't do it. I'm going to say fade. I still think Gressel is a big-time trap player. I think Cameron Harper is a very fun punt this week. So DC won't have Benteke, which is very good for the New York Red Bulls. They might be getting Lewis Morgan back as well, since Scotland were eliminated from the Euros yesterday. But Cameron Harper is doing pretty well right now. He's out of position player, not putting up a ton of bonus points, but he's putting the ball in the back of the net or on the foot of people who are putting it in the back of the net. So I think he's actually a pretty fun punt, maybe even a possible good bench play. Ranko, I think, probably a fun punt. So Vancouver are hosting St. Louis. St. Louis are another team that are kind of just losing players left and right now. Sorry, I'm taking a coffee break. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. I thought it would have cooled off. No, very hot. My tongue is burned. Anyway, Ranko, probably a fun punt. I still kind of think St. Louis have the firepower to sneak a goal on just about anybody they play, but I kind of think it's a fun punt. I actually kind of like Zach McGraw this week as well. I think he's also a fun punt. I've got a weird feeling that Portland actually might keep a clean sheet this game. Minnesota are just missing a lot of players, and it seems like they're kind of in a funk right now. Zach McGraw, great bonus points player. Great bonus points player. And this is obviously if he starts. I do know Portland have been rotating their defense some, but if McGraw starts, then I'm a fan. I'm a fan. He does very well bonus points wise. Walker Zimmerman, maybe a bench play. So Nashville are hosting Inter Miami. Man, my allergies are getting me bad too. What a mess. What a messy couple weeks for my channel. Now I'm losing my train of thought. Zimmerman, not a bad play. Probably a decent bench option. I'll leave it at that. Although with the game times, they do play at 7:30. That's kind of a tough spot since the latest games are 9:30. So I'll stick him in fun punt. John Tolkien, I think, is probably going to be pretty chalked to Red Bulls at home. Tolkien is the new Lennon, putting up some crazy good bonus points on set pieces. Back at it. Big fan of John Tolkien right now. Thiago Almada, jumping ahead again. Keep going with defenders. Kevin Long, I think I put in here by accident. So, obviously fade Kevin Long because Toronto are away to Atlanta. I'm pretty sure I stuck him in there by mistake. Let's see, where are we at? Any more defenders to look at? Stephen Fry's in here twice. That's great. I think that's all of the defenders. Also, we're going to midfielders. Fade Thiago Almada because he's not going to play. Cucho Hernandez, I think it's probably is he going to be chalky this week? So they're going away to New England. His floor is so good that he's probably in this top tier. Cucho is 100% back at it. Just scored a hattie. Big time form that we're seeing Cucho hit. Buanga also in pretty good form, good shape. Colorado beat LA last time they played in Colorado. Buanga may want a revenge game. LA may want a revenge game. I think that actually should be a good game. Pretty competitive one. I'm jumping ahead to forwards. I just realized, skipping a lot of mids. Bogusz is in crazy good form right now. Really good form. I think he's a very good option this week. Just in really good form. Lucho Acosta is, if Poog's not Pooch. Jeez, let me get some more coffee. Oh my gosh. Acosta is, if Pooch isn't playing, probably the best fantasy player in the game. Carlos Hill at home, I do like quite a bit. I think he's a good option. He's really rebounded, although they are playing Columbus. Columbus are kind of a mess right now, though, actually. I think I like him as a bench play. I like him most as a bench play. Since Carlos Hill kind of had a bad start to this season fantasy-wise, but recently he's really kicked into gear. So, definitely a good pick. Christian Espinoza, since Lopez has come in, Espinoza's form, role, all that has gone down a little bit. I think a fade is unfair. He's probably a fun punt. I just haven't been very high on Espinoza this whole year, often to my detriment. But I'm just gonna stick to that. I think he's a fun punt. Maybe he deserves to be a little bit higher, but That's just how I feel. Honey Mukhtar. Who did Nashville play again? Play Miami. Mukhtar is just, Nashville's attack is so flat right now. He's probably a fun punt, but I don't. He did get an assist last week, I believe. So probably a fun punt. Maybe worth elevating to bench play status, but I'll leave him there for now. Evander is just also one of the best players in the game, in the league as well. Portland, Minnesota, I like that quite a bit for Evander. I like Ryan Gauld's matchup a lot, too. I think he's a very good option this week. A lot of good mids and forwards this week. Maybe more so mids than anything, but Ryan Gauld been in imperious form recently, hosting St. Louis. I like that quite a bit. Paintsill, I do like this week. I think he's a fun punt. I wouldn't put him any higher than that, probably. I think he's a fun swing of the bat. Ricky Pooch, I'm probably just going to leave down here off the tier list. I don't know if he's going to be healthy or not. We'll just have to see. If he is, he's obviously chalked, and if he's not, don't take him. Eric Tommy, probably a fun punt as well, against a pretty often struggling away Austin side. Gabriel Peck, probably a lot of fun punts this week. A lot of fun punts this week. Maybe I should move a couple people up to bench status. Again, Peck's been doing really well recently. He probably deserves bench status. So I like this matchup a lot for LA. There should be a zillion goals in the Cali Classico this week. Brian White, I just don't like forwards who don't get bonus points. I just don't. If Brian White scores a goal, he's going to get 7 points or whatever. If Kucher scores a goal, he's going to get like 12 points. I just don't like that kind of forward, even if I do think they're going to score. So I don't know. Brian White is maybe deserving of being a fun punt or a bench play. I just think the ceiling is really low. Unless you think he's going to score a brace against St. Louis, which is possible, I just don't like the ceiling. I bet there's going to be a contingent of people who go Jordan Morris this week. He's probably a fun punt. Really, this is unfair to Brian White. He probably deserves fun punt. I just don't. Jordan Morris and Brian White, I think there's a good chance that both of them score this week, but the ceiling, I just don't love. Just don't love. Joveljic, I do like this week some. I think he's probably worthy of a bench play. Definitely a lot of good LA Galaxy options. Santi Rodriguez, I'm very high on this week. I think he's chalky. Chalky. Possible captaincy option, in my opinion. I'm very high on Santi this week, and I'm going to leave Fry because he's in here twice, and Pooch, I don't know if he's going to play, off the tier list. That is going to be the tier list for today. Let us review it real fast. So in the chalk top tier category, I've got Kai Wagner, John Tolkien, Cucho, Lucho, Buanga, Evander, Gauld, and Santi. As good options, I've got Stefan Fry, Jackson Reagan, and Bogusz. In the bench category, we've got Lennon, Hill, Joveljic, and Peck. Fun punts, got quite a bit. Tim Millia, Cameron Harper, Veselinovic, McGraw, Espinoza, Walker Zimmerman, Hani Mukhtar, Paintsill, Eric Tommy, Jordan Morris, and Brian White. And then players that I'm not high on at all in the fade category, we've got Hugo Lloris, Matt Freese, Julian Gressel, Kevin Long, and Thiago Almada. So that is going to do it for today. Thank y'all so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Sorry that I've only been able to record early in the morning. I know it makes these videos kind of a mess. But again, thank y'all so much. This was Pancake FC, the YouTube channel named after the fantasy team, named after my dog. If you did enjoy the video, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you're thinking this week, or anything that I missed, of course, for this video. And don't forget, with these picks, always go with your gut. What I say means nothing. Go with your gut above all else. And I will talk to y'all again very soon.